Hello everyone, again is your host Doodleman of SkullCrushers. Welcome back. This is the second look at the Battlefield 1 CTE. We've traded out the Lupkow Pass map for the new Brusilov Keep map. I've seen on other videos that this map actually has a new armored Russian truck on it, but as of the 19th of September, the console players still do not have access to this. I don't get why the game is dragging its feet with the console CTE, but at least now we have new weapons. Aside from the new weapons, we also have specializations that were given to each class. Every class has a base of 7 specializations that any class can use. It includes flak, cover, quick regen, amongst other things. But it's important to note that each class also has 2 specializations that are very specific to their class. Aside from flak, cover, quick regen, quick unspot, bayonet training, hasty retreat, and inconspicuous, the assault class also has the juggernaut and controlled detonation specializations. You can read the descriptions at your leisure. I'm just going to tell you what they are. Medic has concealed rescue and something that makes you quicker when you revive somebody. Support mostly focuses on suppressive, and Scout has scapegoat and proximity alarm, which essentially makes a tripwire a 15-meter spot flare, which is pretty useful if nobody notices the tripwire. Going back to the weapons, we now have the melee weapons added with the new DLC, which are just skins of other melee weapons, so nothing new. But moving on to the assault guns. The first gun I'm going to focus on is the new assault submachine gun. I run it with the AA sight. It also has the iron sight variant. I just prefer the AAs. I forget what this gun is called, but you're going to see it right there on your screen. It's got about the rate of fire of the MP18, which isn't bad. It's got a huge magazine. I never fired it long enough to see if it overheats, but it's a solid gun. It gets outpaced by the other guns like the Automatico, but nothing to worry about there. Now, don't mistake the fact you can put AA sights on this and have an 80-round magazine as making this gun an LMG for the assault class. Shoots about just as fast, but it is ungodly inaccurate at range. Like, I'm keeping the target pretty well on point there, and I barely hit those people. Also, as with most of the Russian weapons, the bullet velocity on here seems to be rather slow, so you're going to need to lead a lot. The new Russian submachine gun also features an optical variant. It doesn't have any penalties to accuracy or stability, as other variants do that have optics on them, such as the Self-Slater optical. So this gun fires and performs exactly the same as its factory variant. That leaves the choice completely up to the player as to whether they want a scope or irons on it. So I kind of like that there's not a penalty.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
While not focusing on the guns, spawning in this tower reminds me. The second floor of this tower, which is in the middle of the map and is completely indestructible, is ungodly dark. You can't see anything, and there's a hole in the middle to drop down with a ladder, but you can't see it. There's no light variation, but I digress. Moving on to the new assault shotgun. It is a standard double-barrel shotgun, much like the sawed-off shotgun available to the pilot and tanker class. However, it has longer barrels, meaning it has more accuracy at range. It does good damage, and the only limit is the 2 shots it offers. The new Russian revolver actually has good accuracy and damage. The only issue is the reload animation is completely broken. As I was reloading earlier, the gun just disappeared entirely, and it's also much faster to completely empty your magazine before reloading. I personally prefer the slug variant of the new shotgun, and it also offers a double, you can fire both barrels at the same time, alternate fire mode. But with the slug variant, you can kinda snipe people if you get the irons right on them. You saw me two-shot that last guy. Well, I missed this time, it's still, like for a shotgun, that is ridiculous range. Moving on to the medic guns. First up, we have the General Liu rifle. Very much like the Slater 1906, except it has one important difference. It has 6 rounds instead of 5, meaning you can actually kill 2 people without having to reload. The only weird thing here, you reload a stripper clip regardless if you fire 5 or 6 rounds. So I don't actually know how many bullets are in that stripper clip. But if you reload anything less than 5, you reload each bullet individually like other self-loading rifles. One interesting thing to note about the General Liu rifle is that it offers 2 different fire modes. You have the standard semi-auto fire rate like you have with other self-loading rifles, but it also offers a kind of quirky bolt-action variant. By pressing down on the D-pad, you can switch this rifle to a bolt action. It severely reduces your rate of fire, but doesn't give you any real benefits besides forcing you to pick your shots. I guess it cuts down on recoil spam. The first thing that this bolt action on General Liu made me think of was the varmint rifle from New Vegas. It seems to be exactly the same, except it shoots slower, which is sad. Next up, we have the Fedorov assault rifle for the medic class. It's a 26-round fully automatic rifle offered only to the medics. It's pretty much trying to harken back to the Battlefield 4 assault rifles. It has a lower than average damage for the medic rifles in this game, but it has a much higher fire rate, and its bullet capacity is on par with the Slater 1916. Seem to be very popular with the medics of the CTE, as they want more automatic options besides the 1907 sweeper and the Cyragati's alternate fire mode. I personally prefer the optical variant, as it's pretty much a assault rifle with a red dot sight from Battlefield 4. For me, it greatly improves the accuracy and usability of this weapon at range. At close quarters, I don't know, it still performs just about the same as its trench variant, but with the scope, I can more effectively at least take on scouts and suppress them. But for those longer range engagers, it might be better just to go with the single shot, as it will prevent the kick from the fully automatic fire. Now, moving on to the new Parabellum light machine gun. Support class now has access to the Russian Parabellum light machine gun. The best way I can describe it is as a BAR with more kick and a much bigger magazine. See right there? It wasn't that great for medium range. But once you get to closer ranges, you can just chew right through people. Pretty much like the BAR, like I said. She didn't stand a chance. Now, the Parabellum comes in a low weight and suppressive version. I honestly like the suppressive version better, because I just like the suppressive LMGs in general more. The 100-round magazine is very useful, but the rate of fire it goes at, you overheat around like, I don't know, 30 or so bullets, so you can't exactly suppress too much, because you'll go through those 30 bullets rather quickly. I mean, unless you're burst firing. And if you're playing as the Austro-Hungarians on this map, get used to that a lot. You're gonna lose. An interesting glitch they have with this is when you go to bipod it, your camera swings up and to the left. Very, very annoying. Once you ADS, it goes back just like you would normally ADS on something bipoded. It's just a bug they need to fix before they actually release this DLC. The Parabellum has what I consider a really cool reload, as in you roll the entire drum off. You just spin it clean off, toss it away, pop on a new one. It's decently fast for a light machine gun, to be honest. Now moving on to the scout weapons. Aside from the Gewehr 95, I am not really a fan of scout weapons in general, so my opinion of these rifles may be a tad skewed. The Mosin Nagant is not terrible. I don't mind it, actually. It's
accurate at range. It's got an infantry and marksman variant, but I am noticing this gun is plagued by visual glitches quite often. Like there, where you just see it kind of pop back like it's semi-auto. She's actually pulling the bolt back, it's just not showing it. So it's not like I could just spam it like bam, bam, bam. The marksman variant offers exactly what you would expect, it's just a scoped version of the original. The issue, at least on the Austro-Hungarian side, is that your spawn can be shot right into. I spawned on base and got killed immediately. The final weapon available to the scouts at the CTE is the Vertili Vitali, or however you say it. I cannot stand this gun. The irons are pretty cool on it, but other than that, I hate it. It's got a weird little 4-round clip, magazine, whatever you want to call it, but the muzzle velocity is just terrible. If you're planning on hitting anything at range that's moving side to side, you're gonna have to lead a lot. It's like a worse version of Martini Henry. I don't like the Martini Henry, but I will use that any day over this gun. Like, the bolt action on it alone is just hideous. It takes so much effort, shakes the gun so much. Granted, on the infantry variant, it's not super affecting my aim, but once you get the carbine variant, you're gonna see how this bolt action is terrible. It just, after you fire a shot, it takes the gun off your screen entirely. I mean, somehow your screen stays right on target, but I'm just glad it doesn't force you to stop ADSing to pull back the bolt, otherwise I would never get a follow-up shot. I know it's supposed to be a one-shot at certain ranges, but how on God's green earth are you supposed to use this effectively in the carbine variant? I'll never use this beyond this codex because I hate this gun. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Doodleman of SkullCrushers. Hope you enjoyed the video.